Unwanted.
Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird?
Hello, weirdlings. Welcome back to another episode of Isn't It Weird? I am one of your hosts, Laura, and this is my lovely co-host,
Aline.
And welcome back to another episode of us reading these beautiful oracle cards that Aline created and deep diving into Hanson's Middle of Nowhere album via those beautiful oracle cards. We have a very exciting episode today. We have another guest. I'm enjoying this, what we got going on here, my friend.
It's very
We've got
fun.
some really fun things lined up throughout this whole season. We're trying to pull very interesting people from the Hanson community onto the podcast. So today's episode will be really, really exciting to have her on, which we will be announcing who she is in just a few moments. But kind of wanted to recap. Last week we pulled, look at you.
Yeah.
And that was a really interesting card. It's probably one of the first cards we pulled. We were like, huh,
Yeah.
this one's just, you just dancing to it, man.
Where we both were just like, well, it's a great song.
It's a good song. Look at there. Your album or your song description in your booklet brought more life, I would say, to that song and more in-depth readings, I think, to that song than we've really ever given too much thought to it before. So
I think
that was very, very
dance
cool.
song.
Dance it out, man.
When in doubt, dance it out.
Heck yeah. I'm a fan of that. Well, Aline, you found this connection with our next guest. So would you like to introduce our next guest?
I sure would.
Yes.
Ashley.
Ashley.
Hi. Oh, I'm supposed to say my hi. Hi. I'm Ashley Wool.
Okay.
Thank you for
Hi,
having me. Let me turn my
Ashley.
fan off. Okay. Okay.
Welcome to Isn't It Weird podcast.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm real weird. I'm really
Real
excited.
weird.
You'll fit right in.
Yeah, I love it. Ashley is a Broadway performer and actor and has a lot of accolades. I was doing my homework on you, homie. You're a very impressive person. You got a lot of really cool stuff that I've seen under your belt. And
Thank you.
she's part of the Hanson fan community, and how Aline met her and got to know her. And I saw her floating around, but and that's my little kitty Opalite. Hi. That was really cute. And
Gang's all here.
and she's got her kitty. It's a kitty episode, by the way.
It's a kitty episode.
What's your kitty's name?
This is Chevron and her brother is Texaco.
Oh,
That is so
my
cute.
gosh. That is adorable. Gas station cats. Hello. Did you
Yes.
find them at gas stations?
They were found at a gas station when they were babies. Those are the names that the rescue group gave them, and I decided to keep them to honor their heritage.
Oh.
I love that so much. To honor their heritage is a beautiful way of saying that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Meatball's just, she's not very intelligent, so that's my Meatball. Oh,
That's your
hello.
Meatball. Hello. The kitties are on it today. We usually
They're on
we're always like, no, but they're like, oh, we're part of this episode. No doubt. Ashley, you have, like I said, quite a show array under your belt. How many Broadway performances have you done?
So the production was How to Dance in Ohio, and we, between previews and performances, we actually had 99. And I did 98 of them. The only one that I missed was because I told you earlier, I had some tumors on my ovaries that were causing my ovaries to twist, and then I was in excruciating pain for 15 hours. But that was a fun story.
Woman life, man. And
Woman
you
life.
powered through.
Yeah.
Well, I powered through one show. I didn't power
Give you
through
some morphine and
Yeah, no, I did take one day off, but the day that the pain started acting up, it was very, very bad. I had started feeling twinges earlier in the day, and I thought it was just like a muscle spasm that was transferring. So I took a yoga class, I got a massage, and then I went to do the show. And then beginning of Act 2, the pain started coming back. By the time it was curtain call, I was in so much pain, I could not stand up. I went to the emergency room at 2 a.m. and it was Bellevue emergency room in New York City, which was quite an experience.
It's a questionable
experience. It was a questionable experience. They did not diagnose me. They said it was stress. So luckily my dad in Westchester was able to come and get me and bring me to a different hospital, which did diagnose me, and they gave me morphine and the torsion straightened out. And then I, took that night off and I was able to do the rest of the last 3 shows of the run. It was right at the end of our run.
crazy.
But here's the funny story. So the Performing Arts Library, the New York Public Library at Lincoln Center, they have a huge collection of theater and film on tape that researchers can use, and you have to go through a whole process to get to see shows, but you can see archive footage of old Broadway shows. The performance of our show that was recorded for Lincoln Center was the one where I was in excruciating pain. So the most pain I've ever been in on stage in my life is now preserved for all eternity at one of the most iconic libraries in the world. So if you're ever in New York and you want to see it, you could.
You want to see a badass woman doing her thing through the most amount of pain, then
I was told that you couldn't tell, which is good. But I'm glad the show was preserved because it's a very special show. It means a lot to me. And
that's awesome.
So that's my show must go on show.
I wish I could have got up there to see it. I'm always so proud of you. Every time I pulled a song up for Laura and I sent her So Much in Common, it gets stuck in my head so much. But I'm like, here it is. I said, here's some homework. And I sent her the song. And then she asked for it earlier. And I was like, she has so much more besides this. This is just the song. Like when I say Ashley, this song gets in my head.
Well, I have a different song. So I was talking about the podcast to a client of mine, and I was like, "Oh, we're going to have a special guest on," and she's like, "Yeah." And I was talking about a few of the people, and this particular client, her daughter is in theater, and she went to a high school, very theater centered. She went to school here called Flow Arts, Florida School of Performing Arts, and she's about to go to Pensacola, a really nice theater school in Pensacola area. So I was like, oh, we're gonna have someone who's been on Broadway on, and I just went into YouTube and I was like, boop, first thing I saw, and I clicked on it, and it was Getting Married Today.
Oh, yeah. From Company. Yep.
Yeah. And I played that and she goes, do you know how hard that is to sing, Laura? Do you know how difficult it is? Because her daughter is obsessed with theater, all things theater. So, and her mom's a very supportive mother, full blown support. Like if she's going to do it, let's embrace it all the way. She goes, and she just watched the whole thing. Like, she knew more about what you were doing than I did, and she goes, that's just incredibly difficult song to sing. So you had a theater mom down here in Florida really impressed with your talent on that one. So that was a really cool story that I wanted to share with you. But how fast? You can sing real fast, girl. You can just do it.
Please, on my knees, there's a human life at stake. Listen, everybody, I'm afraid you didn't hear it. Do you want to see a crazy lady fall apart in front of you? It isn't only Paul who may be rude. He's like, both of us be losing our identities. I telephoned my analyst about it, and he said to see him Monday, but my Monday will be floating in the Hudson with the other garbage. I'm not well, so I'm not getting married. You've been swell, but I'm not getting married. Clear the hall, because I'm not getting married. Thank you all, but I'm not getting married. Don't tell Mom, but I'm not getting married today.
It is really fast, but I'll tell you what though, and I always say this about this song in particular, because, Stephen Sondheim, knew what he was doing, when he wrote that. It sounds really fast, but he wrote it in such a way that it mimics the flow of actual speech if you're speaking really quickly. And it's not hard to enunciate it because of the way he wrote it and the order that he wrote it in. It's very, very well written. I think the trick to performing a song like that is to just do what's on the page, because a lot of the music does the acting for you, and it kind of, you don't have to work that hard. As long as you sing exactly what's written, the song kind of delivers itself, and it's a brilliant, brilliant song, obviously, and a brilliant show. I don't know if you've seen the whole musical, but it's one of my favorites ever. And that song, of course, is just iconic. You don't get a lot of patter songs written for women in the musical theater canon, and that's just one of, the greatest of all time. So it was a lot of fun to get to do that. But, and I'm not just saying this to be humble, no, it is hard and it does take talent, but also a pigeon takes a crap on a different excellent singer in New York City every day. The real talent, I think, is writing the song in the first place. Lots of people can sing it, but to write it, that's the talent that really blows me away.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And then I'm assuming, and then finding the right person that can deliver that. I think that's also is a very big deal. What advice do you have, or you could have, let's say, for my client's daughter? What advice could you give with possible Broadway as goals? Wherever she's at, she's 19, been out of high school for she's 20 now, so she's been out of high school for 2 years. Now she's going on to her next step. What advice would you give her as someone who's established and doing
it? Save a lot of money. Don't take out loans to go to musical theater school. Do a lot of community theater, I would say. Take a lot of classes, do a lot of community theater though, because I know one of my best friends from my community theater days moved to Orlando several years ago. And I don't know about elsewhere in Florida, but I know in Orlando, the community theater scene is phenomenal. I would say do as much of that as possible, because it's basically like a free master class. Yeah. You don't have to pay to do it. You don't get paid to do it necessarily either, but you get to do the work. You get to be in the creative process. You get to work with people of all different experience levels, which is its own incredible learning experience. I've been in shows with people who had never done a musical in their lives, and I did shows with people who had been on Broadway or, could have gone to Broadway but chose not to because the industry is ridiculous. And they're some of my favorite people in the world because, they're not career actors, but they're very established in what they do for a living, and they do theater for fun. And when you do it for fun, it takes away a lot of the pressure, I think, that's attached to it, because there are no stakes. You're just there because you want to be there. And that's where I think you discover kind of who you are as an artist, who you are as a collaborator. And what I always told my friends, because I had a lot of friends from my, high school, college community theater come to see me on Broadway, and they're like, "Oh, what's it like being on Broadway?" And what I tell them is, it's really the same. The work is the same, the passion is the same, the community camaraderie is all the same. The only difference really is that you get a paycheck. And, obviously that's a massive difference. And it's like being a full-time job, it is different. But if you've done community theater, you've already worked, I think, as hard as it's as possible to work. Because a lot of times when you're doing community theater, you're doing a day job at the same time. When you're on Broadway, that's usually your only job, especially if it's a brand new show and you're, in rehearsals all day for a month and the show is changing all the time. And then you're in previews, which is when you're performing at night and then rehearsing during the day and making more changes and more changes and more changes. But if you've done community theater long enough, I think you have enough of an idea of what that can be like, the work ethic and the dedication. So that would be the advice. Do a lot of community theater. Really put a premium on taking care of yourself, staying hydrated.
Yeah.
It sounds so cliche, but like
it
really
doesn't.
hydrate.
I have seen her. She did do community theater when she was in high school. She did Hands on a Hard Body. And I actually went to that show and did that. I saw her perform that, and that was very cool. I can't remember her character, but she was one of the blonde in the short shorts. I'm horrible with the names, but that's very good advice for the other part. Like, stay hydrated and take care of your health, because she just finished doing Alice by Heart, I think, and she was Alice, and I think it really took a toll on her emotionally just to get into that character. And her and her mom were talking to me where she, not to put too much out, but she lost hair. She lost a patch of hair from the stress of really putting herself into that character. So,
that's the other thing. Go to therapy. Some people
she
actually went to her mom. She's very supportive. She went to her mom and she goes, "Mom, I think I need to see a therapist from this," but it can be really hard and loved in that way, not to put all of her tea out there like that, but she's a very remarkable person with a family that's very supportive.
It's such an important thing to talk about because, it can be such emotional work. And especially when you're young and you love it, people think they're being cool and they say, "Oh, theater is my therapy." No, please. No, that's not how that works. The more I always say, if you do what you love for a living, or even, as a hobby, but you're very passionate about it, the more you love something, the more important it is for you to make sure that you also have a life and identity outside of it. Right. Because if you wrap yourself up too much in, the character or the process or the craft or the people, it can mess with you because it's never going to last forever is the other thing. Is you have to know how to love something enough to let it go. Right. And that's something you learn over and over and over again. But then while you're in it, especially if you're playing a character that goes to some really heavy places, or you're playing a character who, let's say, is like a terrible person, like a very racist character, like I played in the musical Parade one time. It messed with my head a little bit, and you need to give yourself time to kind of transition in and out of that. So, part of taking care of yourself is making sure you have your routines, you have your warm up, you have your cool down, you have your morning routine, you have your evening routine, and you give yourself structure so that your brain knows, okay, now it's time to do this. Now it's time to do that. It really, it does help a lot. It helps you kind of stay sane and stay healthy when you're doing work that's really emotionally demanding like that.
Yeah. Decompression time, 100%. I have some questions, but I have more, but Aline, do you have some questions up your sleeve for this lovely lady?
Which one to ask you first? I think you kind of touched on that. All right. Actually, I'm going to pull this one off the top of my head. What came first for you? Your love of like the arts or Hanson? Like, do you understand what I'm saying there? Like,
Yeah, I would say it kind of developed concurrently because I was 9 when Middle of Nowhere came out. It was actually Valentine's Day, 1997, that my mom got me that album. And she was like, hey, I thought you might want to check this out. I like the music. It's good music. And it's kids like your age. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Because I had been into I had enjoyed singing, and I had done ballet for a couple of years, and I really enjoyed that. And I loved, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Tina Turner. I wanted to be like a rock star, but I thought that was like, oh, so far off.
Goddess
And then
rock star.
Exactly. And I was like, oh, I'm just a kid. That, I'm not cool enough. I'm not hip enough. I'm just a kid. And then all of a sudden, here come these kids who, look like me and act like me. They're just these like nerdy doofuses from the Midwest. And I see them in interviews and I'm like, I kind of just want to hang out with them. Like, these are like kids that I go to school with.
Yeah.
And here they are going all around the world, playing and performing and writing their own music. I thought that is the coolest thing in the world. And, if they can do it, then maybe I can start pursuing this a little bit more because, if they can do it at this age, then why not me? I didn't have anywhere near, the natural talent, and I wasn't, homeschooled by people who let me do music 24/7, but still, seeing them do it, but also not just seeing them do it, but also see them act like kids.
Right.
Like my sister and I rented Tulsa, Tokyo in the Middle of Nowhere so many times from Blockbuster.
I love that you rented it
over and over and over.
Oh, that is so interesting. I didn't even know they had it for rent.
I didn't either.
What?
Yeah, no,
That's
we
so 90s right there.
That's
The whole
such a 90s,
it is so 90s
thing to drop.
It is, and we rented it. We rented it a bunch, and we loved the Hanson does stupid stuff on tape or stupid stuff on video. We still to this day, my mom to this day, we still quote this tree has not reached its full extent of redwoodness.
This redwood has not quite come to its full expansion of redwoodness. Oh man, gives you just that crick in the neck videotaping it, doesn't it?
Like, whatever, anytime something hasn't reached its full potential or its full maturity, we say, oh, it hasn't reached its full redwoodness. Like, that's just become part of our lexicon now.
That's so funny. That's so special too.
I do the same thing with my kids. Like, we have golf carts, and when we go touring, like around, just randomly, I'll be like, "Oh, I turn into Billy Bob, and I'm their tour guide for the day." So we ride back in the woods. We ride back in the woods all the time, so they don't get it. Even though I've made them watch it, they're like, "What are you doing?" I was
like, to be misunderstood by your kids.
I think they'd know if I showed them again, but it's just like it's not clicking.
What would you want? What performance of yours would you invite Hanson to go see throughout your career? Like, what's the one you'd like? I wish they would have seen that.
Would have loved for them to see How to Dance in Ohio because, first of all, I think everyone should see How to Dance in Ohio. But also, I would have been especially keen on showing them that show because of how much their music played a role in me unpacking being autistic. Because How to Dance in Ohio centers on autistic characters, and they were all played by autistic actors. And I wasn't diagnosed with autism until I was in college, but, growing up as a very zany, socially awkward, passionate, intensely feeling everything kid, of course, I really related to the song Weird. And that was my favorite song growing up as a kid. And it was, I think the reason that it resonated with me so much is not just because it was a good song, but because I was hearing it from other kids.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, you know what? We all get a little bit weird sometimes. We're all just trying to figure it out together. And I think it was really important for me to hear that from other kids.
Right.
And, you know, the older I get, the more I appreciate the impact that had on me. And then kind of unpacking it in different ways with Underneath and watching Strong Enough to Break and watching them try to navigate the ever-changing record industry and kind of coming into their own as artists before they were really at the point where they were being taken seriously on a major level, even though they had already been very successful as children and as young adults, and they were clearly a solid band holding their own with a solid artistic vision. And I think that always resonated with me.
They were expected to handle it like adults.
Yeah.
But they were still treated as children too. And I think sometimes when you're on the spectrum, I'm not formally diagnosed, but my younger son is. But I think handling as adults, you still sometimes get treated in that.
You get a little bit infantilized.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that can be very frustrating. So I feel like that was a very practical way to see, you know, infantizing. I mean, Taylor was an adult, Isaac was an adult, but Zach was still a child still, but they were expected to carry very adult roles and situations and go up against people who were far more versed in that certain parts of the industry and not really have someone honest, truly, you know, in their corner from the cat earthquake, from the world there. I'm glad you mentioned that because that was one of my questions was, you know, navigating theater with, you know, being autistic and navigating that whole world.
You know what else was heartening about it though, and this is something that I've experienced too, and it's like when I watch interviews with Hanson or people talking about Hanson, or even you see in Strong Enough to Break, even when they were going through all of that, they still had so many people in their corner and like people who were a big deal. Like people in like other musicians got Hanson more so than pop culture did.
I think that
there were always people who saw their talents. I remember when Adam Schlesinger died, Taylor was talking very extensively about how, he's somebody who always took us seriously.
Yeah.
And I think, and I guess that harkens back to your question about, you know, what advice would I give to younger theater people is find the people who love the thing as much as you do, who are older than you and who have been there a while and who are not going to talk down to you, but want to invite you into the folds because they see who you are as an artist and not just as, you know, some kid.
Yeah, some kid passing through and, you know, with a dream, like be an Adam instead of a Jeff Finster.
Yeah. That needs to be a shirt. Be an Adam. Be an Adam, not a Jeff. Then just the name Finster gets under my skin.
I know. There's a lot of. I never fought anybody before, but I would.
That one is.
I feel like Weird has a cousin song or a sister song, and it feels like a child at heart is
For
like.
sure.
Oh my God,
it's
yes,
like sister song.
yes,
And it was the first time that I think I felt very similar feelings to a song. Like Weird was when they released, you know, Child at Heart.
Yeah.
And I heard
for
it and I was
sure.
like, oh my gosh, that's like their
The
cousin, sister,
adult anthem for the weird
relative.
children.
Yeah. Like what happened to that weird child when they grew up, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely. I
yeah.
completely agree with you.
Yeah, it's a good one. It kind of feels very, very, very similar feeling. Sorry, I've got a naughty kitty. She knocks stuff over. You're right.
Cats knocking stuff over? Why
All the
I
time.
never.
But she's so cute, so she's forgiven. She is forgiven always. It's just a little wacky over here.
I have another question. Have you
girlfriend.
met Hanson?
I got to meet them at String Theory in Buffalo, New York on
Wow.
June, I think June 8th, I want to say, of 2019, whatever day that was, that String Theory show. I went out with my mom, actually. She didn't get to meet them, but I had just joined Hanson.net, and I was just like, oh, let me enter for the meet and greet. Why not? And then I won it, and I was like, oh, dang. So, yeah, so I did get to meet them very briefly there. Yeah, that was
How'd
the only.
that go for you?
I was about to
It
say,
went
did
great.
you do or say anything goofy? Because we tend to do that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. You know what's funny? Like, the other fans told me I handled myself so well. I remember that. And I was like, really? You think I did? That's interesting. But I think it's just like, you know, being in the entertainment industry, I know how to act around people who are more famous than me. But in that particular environment, it wasn't like, oh, I'm interacting with this person because I'm working with them. It's like I am interacting as a fan. Like there is a very clear, and I think there is a little bit of pressure there because it's like, oh gosh, what do you say? I love your work.
Yeah.
But what I've learned, you know, especially from being on Broadway, is nobody ever gets sick of hearing that they love your work. Like, and I really do love String Theory. Like that is
that's my favorite show. Girl,
it's
so good. I almost went to Buffalo, but I did not. I went to the one at the Beacon there in New York. It was such a good show. It really, really is. And they were really doing, if you signed up as a new member, and then got a meet and greet, you were, because they had cycled through so many people. It was like almost like a sheer guarantee. That still frustrates me for you, girl.
Hansonet is gone, and I still didn't get a meet and greet.
She still didn't get her meet and greet, which is crazy because I feel like at some point they were just like, pop pushing them out.
Not me.
Like that. Well, it's all right. I've thrown you into Taylor's arms a few times, but you need the trifecta experience.
The trifecta experience.
Yeah.
Wait, Aline,
trifecta.
Didn't you meet them at Hanson Day? Haven't you both been to Hanson Day?
Yeah. We went together. Yeah. She's been a bunch. I've only gone once, but we went together. I've met them. I just didn't get the formal meet and greet.
Yeah, the one-on-one. With Hanson Day, you're like in a group of like...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've done the whole stand by the, the gate or the bus or the whatever. I've done that. And that's always when I put my foot in my mouth.
And I'm like...
And Laura shoves me into them because I freeze. I am...
Yeah. It's my favorite hobby, though. It's like stand behind the buses and then wait for people. And people are like, I've never met them before. I'm like, hold on a second. And there's a trick to it. Is you call them like you know them. You're like, Taylor. And then they're like, oh, what? Don't act like you don't know them. You got to pretend you got to call them like you are like calling your child.
Your child at heart.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. And then you're like, boo. That's my favorite thing is to catch them off guard and call them like, yeah.
My best picture with any of them is with Taylor at that Hanson Day that me and her went to together. Mm-hmm. I was frozen scared.
She was.
Laura, she calls him and he turns around and she's like, can my friend take a picture with you? And he's like, sure. Right. She shoves me into his armpit. Best picture ever. I am so scared.
You don't look scared.
I look so
You're
tiny.
Just like, you do. He's engulfing the situation. Taylor's just got like a Yes.
My hair was green. His hat
in the
was
best
green.
way.
We're wearing like the same shirts. It was great. We matched.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good picture.
Not
good time.
intentional. It was just at karaoke and she saw him and shoved me into him. And I'm
He
like,
was walking through a
okay.
crowd of people. He was the one being brave through that. And I was like, hey,
best picture though.
As
By
long as
far.
you shoved Aline and not Taylor, like
No, she shoves me into his armpit.
into him.
Into his
into
sweaty
his
armpit.
armpit.
Right
Into
into
the
it.
armpit.
funny.
I try not to shove any Hansons around. I do my best to not. One time, Zach did push me on a walk. I was doing the walk, and I was next to him yapping, and he goes and pushes me, and I look at him like, "What the hell, man?" And he goes, "Lizard." So I was stepped on a lizard.
Oh.
Lizard.
Just such a Zach. He could have literally
such
just
a Zach
said.
move. He's like,
He could have said
That
lizard
is-
just to be like sorry.
And then he pushed like a
Lizard.
lizard on the ground that I almost stepped on.
I'm gonna stop
Barefoot.
telling you sorry for things and just start saying lizard.
Lizard.
That is actually
Lizard.
kind of adorable, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, lizard.
Lizard. Just shoved me. Like it was I don't know. I hadn't been going, I was like when I was still doing like one a year or something like that. So it wasn't like he's like, I'm familiar with this one. No, I'm just a fan. It's
Just random.
lizard.
I ran the
He was-
girl. There's a lizard.
He was very invested in saving the lizard.
Yes, I'm sure just getting an opportunity to push a fan around wasn't in there.
He would be very proud. I'll have to tell her, Zach Hanson, he saved a lizard from your Aunt Laura.
Yeah. From my feet, my barefoot. Oh, I can imagine. I'm thankful for the push, but
That wouldn't have
Yeah,
gone
stepping
so
on
well.
a barefoot would have been awful.
Oh,
all
traumatizing.
thanks, bro. I'm good. Oh, nothing wrong with like getting pushed into Hanson though. So there you go. Being pushed by a Hanson or pushed into Hanson. Whatever.
Why not?
Why not?
Do you have any more questions, Laura?
No, we went through and she answered all. You preemptively answered a few of my questions, so thank you for that. And
I do have one more that it's
Okay.
off topic to everyone, probably but Ashley, but she'll like this question. What is your favorite Homestar Runner quote and or episode?
Oh, that's a whole other podcast. Literally, I've been actually a guest on a Homestar Runner podcast, on 4 different episodes, actually. So, you know, I'm going to tell you a story that actually relates directly to Hanson. So the podcast that I was on is called Come On Fahugwa Pods.
Yeah, that checks.
And the premise is they were going to talk about every single Homestar Runner cartoon in release order. So the first episode that I was on was the one about the Strong Bad email guitar.
Oh, tap your toes, I check the email. Tap your toes tonight.
Where the fan asks if Strong Bad can play guitar. And he goes, yeah, you know, I can play your basic riff like jug, jigga, jug, jigga, jug, jigga, jaw, jaw.
I can play your basic rhythm guitar like jug, jigga, jug, jigga, jug, jigga, jug, jigga, jug, jigga, jaw, jaw, jigga, jug, jigga, jug, jigga, jug, jigga, jug, jigga, jug, jigga, jaw, jaw. You know, something like that.
And then I can play the riffs like mealy, 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 me.
I can also play some pretty hot licks, too. You know, the kind that are just way up high on the tiny strings and you mash your fingers on them. Mealy, 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 me.
So we talked about that. And so fast forward to like a year later, I had seen something on HNet where they referenced Trogdor. I think Zach was in some video where there was fire, and they were like, "Oh, Zach is in cahoots with Trogdor, the Burninator." And so I just, I clocked that immediately. Oh, they also have a sign, or I guess they don't have 3CG anymore, but they had a sign in the 3CG studio. They had a no loafing sign.
Yes,
and it
somebody's
appears
got
in a
that
bunch
no
of their
loafing
videos.
sign.
So I was like, I clocked that, and I was like, well, clearly they know what this is. So I sent Zach a direct message on Hanson.net, not expecting I'd ever get an answer. And I said, hey,
He's the one that will give you a message.
Do you have a favorite strong bad email? Months and months and months and months and months and months later. And this was after I had done the podcast. He said, oh, yeah, actually, it's guitar.
Wow.
Actually, yeah. What a coincidence. What a little...
I know.
That little kismet, little silver thread connecting us all.
But I also feel like they would have some opinions on the one that discusses fan clubs and fan fiction.
Oh, I've got to go watch that one.
You do have to go watch that one. If you can't remember it off the top of your head, it's very funny, but it's like especially funny for people like us.
Is it the Teen Girl Squad?
No, it's Strong Bad basically making fun of people who write fan fiction.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely got to go check that one out.
It's very, very funny.
My go-to has always been caffeine. I don't know
I
what
love
my
caffeine.
That is my favorite, and I don't know what my draw to it has always been, but it is my go-to. And, of course, every Valentine's Day, I bust out your video of you singing the Valentine's Day song. My children still randomly start singing it, and I'm like, yes, exactly.
Good. You're raising baby elder millennials. You're doing a great job, Aline.
I'm trying.
That's so cute. I don't really know. I only know it from a brief moment when I was like 19 and I had a roommate and he would be like, Homestar Winner.
Yeah.
And that's all he would say all the time, Homestar Winner. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but that's cool.
It is cool.
Me and Ashley met. She came to me. I was posting my art and she came to me and wanted me to make some art for her solo album. And I was like, who is this girl? And so I started Googling. I was like, oh my gosh, she's such a great singer. And then we started talking and we became friends. And then it had been like months down the line. All of a sudden, I think she posted something about Homestar. And I was like, oh my God, I love you even more now. This is crazy. And so we just meshed together over Hanson and Homestar Runner.
I love that. They're different than Salad Fingers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very different.
Same internet era.
Very different.
I don't know that very much, so Delainie would be like,
I love Salad Fingers so much. Like, so much. It popped up. It was the, 25th anniversary or something. And David Firth popped up on my stories the other day, celebrating that. And I was like, oh, Salad Fingers. How am I this old, though? But, there it is again. I will go back and watch it. It creeps everyone around me out. But I love it.
That's funny. I've watched it recently, and I'm like, my friend loves this.
I love it.
Make people watch it behind the chair. Sometimes we run out of things to say.
My husband,
watch this thing.
My husband likes Charlie the Unicorn. I don't like that one as much. So I always pull the Salad Fingers. That's my go-to. I don't know. I think I just like the creepiness of it all. It's so funny to me.
Our generation's brain rot, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about the brain. I love that. Well, Aline.
Yes.
Would you like to play our Hanson Hotline?
Oh, yes, I would.
Oh, I would love to hear it. I'm so excited. Last week's calls were so awesome,
fun.
And they were great to hear. And I had such a good time reminiscing with each and every voicemail. It was so fun.
We got a few this week. All
Yay!
Right. Here we go.
Hello? Is this the Hanson Hotline?
I've got a story to tell you.
You have one saved message. To listen to your message, press 1.
Right. Here we go.
Let's go.
I don't know who this is, but this is the Hanson Hotline. Let me just tell you what I had to deal with growing up. Hanson 24/7 on TRL. My sister's yelling and screaming, jumping around, seeing Hanson for the first time on TRL, calling them women, and they going crazy, in tears over these people. I don't know. Have fun with this information.
We will.
Sounds like someone was put up.
Yeah, call them, see what this is. I'm pretty sure that might have been the sister giggling in the background, though.
In the background. That's funny that he's like called them girls.
I think a lot of guys
be honest.
did.
The first time I saw them on MTV, it wasn't TRL yet, but the first time I saw MMMBop, I was like, she's cute. Taylor. I really was like, boop. And the next day on Channel 1 News, like, I don't know if you guys had that when you were in high school, but I had Channel 1 News. They play every morning. And the next day they talked about Hanson, though, 3 brothers. And I was like, oh, brothers. But I was like fairly certain Taylor was a girl. And I was questionable about Zach. Isaac was a dude.
See, I didn't see the video until, I didn't see it until way later. My mom made me watch it on, was it Rosie?
That was my first intro.
Oprah or something. My mom made me watch it, and I was like, I don't want to watch it. And then when I sat down, I was just like instantly in love. But
She's cute.
I didn't question Taylor. I don't know. Maybe it's because I like guys with long hair. It was just like, oh,
he's cute. Yeah,
I want that one.
I was very much like, oh, that's cool. Just thought they were like just hanging out. How about you? Did you question Taylor's gender before knowing Taylor's gender?
No,
Ashley?
Because actually the first time I ever saw / heard of them was in Scholastic News. Do you guys remember Scholastic News?
Yeah.
So there was a little blurb about them in Scholastic News, and it described 3 brothers, and it said who they were. It actually, the caption got it wrong. The caption mixed up Isaac and Zach. I did remember that.
Classic move.
Figuring that out later on. But no, I knew. I was like, okay, yeah, he kind of looks like he could be a girl, but I know he's not. Like,
yeah.
So
I have a far more in-depth story about this, but I'm saving it for when we draw it in Bop card. So
okay.
All right.
It's the divine moment. Who knows? Maybe it's today.
Yeah, who knows? We'll find out. All right, the next Hanson Hotline, I have a 2-part, so I've got to play 2 separate messages. All right, here's part 1.
Hey guys, I just wanted to call in and share a story that is kind of Hanson related, kind of not. So in 97, when, they first came out and I learned that they were from Tulsa, I automatically thought Tulsa must be the coolest place, somewhere I would never go to. I was obsessed with Tulsa, Oklahoma, as I'm sure everyone else was. So every time I would see a car that said Oklahoma on it, out driving, I would say, oh my gosh, it's from Oklahoma. Or if we would get a package in the mail or something shipped and it said, from Oklahoma or something, of course I would freak out because it was from Oklahoma. I think in 98, my mom bought a car and it had been a rental, and somehow she found out on some paperwork, guess what, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, I live in a very small town in Indiana. And so for my mom to buy a car that had been, used in Tulsa was very exciting. And throughout my life growing up, I still had that same, anytime anything came up about Tulsa or Oklahoma, I was very excited. Anyways, years later, I am working at my job in a grocery store, and I've been there for 15 years. And there is a new manager, and I was very interested in her. And I finally worked up the courage to talk to her one day, and she had mentioned that she was from Oklahoma. And of course, even though it's all these years later, my heart still drops And so of course I was like, so what town are you from? And she said, about 15 minutes from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so of course I was like, oh my God, she's from Tulsa basically. So that like sealed the deal right there. I didn't tell her that. I did tell her that, oh my gosh, I love Hanson and they're from Tulsa and I can't believe this. And she kind of got it at first, kind of didn't. It took her a little while to understand why that was so important to me and how important Hanson was and all that. And I had told her I'd just been to Hanson Day in 2017 and had went with a stranger and had the time of my life.
It's a good time.
Okay, I just got cut off, and I'm finishing my message now. But anyways, a couple years later, fast forward, we're in Tulsa late at night. We were visiting her family, and I think they were having a concert at Cain's. And it was late at night, and we were by the wall, the mural there next to their studio, and they were in there practicing. There was nobody around. It wasn't Hanson Day or anything. They were just having a concert, I believe, at Cain's. But anyways, so we were hanging out there. They were practicing inside. We could kind of hear them. We could mostly hear Zach playing his drums and stuff. Well, we were sitting there shooting the breeze, chit-chatting, and she got down on one knee and proposed right there while I could hear them playing, next to their studio. And it was magical. Nobody else previously had realized how important and how cool that would be to me, to be proposed right there. So now I still have my, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's from Hanson moment. Or not Hanson.
I love that.
From Tulsa. Oh my gosh. And so I just hope that this story will make someone smile because it's a pretty great story to me.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That is
I love
sweet.
that. There's a lot of similarities. First off, my card that I rest in peace ramble that I got, that was an accident a couple months ago. Its original OG location when I was looking up its history, it was a rental car from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So when I had preemptively listened to the beginning of her voicemail, I was like, me too, girl. I got so excited. I was like, this car is from Oklahoma. I very much understand that excitement. You're like, I get it there. And I have a client from Tulsa. And when I have a client, so it's always fun. I'm like, Tulsa.
That's
I still get excited
Mr.
hearing
Jefferson?
about Tulsa.
Me too. I love that she was proposed to while they were playing in the.
That is so cute.
It's adorable.
It's definitely so memorable too. Like that is, as a fan, that is not. There's no really anything that's going to top that unless it was during like in a show and they called you out, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But to have such a sweet little personal moment like on the wall, and that must be a very bittersweet feeling to know that the wall's been painted over, pressure washed and painted over.
It makes me
but
sad.
like you still have the memory in that spot and in that place, and I think that's so special.
Yeah,
I
That
love
is so
that
special.
story so much. It's awesome. But I'm right there with the rental. I was like, kind of made me locked in me buying my car. They're like, do you really want to own a car that was rental? Like, yes, I do. I do, especially that.
Touch Tulsa dirt.
Tulsa dirt. I resonate. I can't remember did she say her name?
I
can't remember her name.
I don't
Thank
think
you,
she
though.
did.
Whomever you are. Thank you.
All right, I got one more.
Hey, saw you guys on TikTok and I saw this number, so I thought I would call in. It just made me think about when I was 12, my mom drove me and my sister across the country. She was taking my sister to a camp in California. We lived in Pennsylvania. But the entire time, to get me to behave when I was acting up, whatever, she would tell me we could go to Hanson's house in Oklahoma on our way back. And we did. We went to their house in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
No way. To their
I don't remember where we got the address. This was 1998, so who knows where we found the address, if it was even right.
Soccer
But
mom,
I remember
that's
getting out of the van and
MVP.
walking down the street, and I picked up some grass and rocks on the side of the road, and I took it home. I still have it to this day somewhere in my house. My mom was trying to get me to knock on their door. She's like, what's the worst that can happen? Let's just say hi. But I refused because I was 12 and everything was really embarrassing. But yeah, I still have the grass and rocks, and that is my Hanson story. Okay, bye.
So,
oh my God.
Story so much.
Tulsa dirt, you literally just said.
I have a story that's similar. So when me and Laura went to Hanson Day, I guess it was after the Hanson Day events were over, they had Hop Jam. And during Hop Jam, Laura had like the drinking pass, and I don't drink. I'm sober. So Laura went into the drinking side, and
garden.
me and my friend Conchetta, we decided we're going to do what I brought this little vial that I wore around my neck. And I was like, I have a mission for this, and I can't be caught because I have really bad issues with looking stupid in front of Hanson. But my goal was to get me some Hanson dirt and put it in this little vial that I could wear around my neck. There is no dirt around their studio. It's concrete everywhere. It's all concrete. So
Concrete world.
In front of their door, like right in front of the door, is this little tree. And I couldn't get the dirt, was too hard. I couldn't get it. And I didn't want to look crazy, just like down there digging with my fingers. So I was like,
Just do it.
I can't get the dirt.
Going...
What?
Yeah.
I couldn't get it. It was too compacted. So I had to settle for like the grass blades. So me and Conchetta like set up where she'd distract and I got my grass and I shoved it into this. I'll have to find it. This little tiny bottle.
I remember the vial because I found you at some point. I would check in and with you throughout the day, and you'd be like,
"Got it,
grass."
I got it. It looked
didn't even faze me. I was
so
like, "Oh,
suspicious."
that's cool.
It looks so suspicious. If you look down into the bottle, it looks like dried stuff. But I'm like, no, it's just Hanson grass. It's all. But I had to fly
Just
back with
Hanson
that.
grass?
It's just little
Hanson dirt.
Weird.
Do you still have it?
I do. Oh, I do. Yes, I don't get rid of anything. I have it.
No, yeah,
I have it. I'll have to find it. It's this little.
Is it
purple...
hanging on your wall somewhere behind you?
No, but if I find it, I'll hang it up there because I'm not wearing it. It's a little purple like potion bottle. It's tiny. It's itty bitty, and it has a cork in the top. I may have glued that in there, but I have pictures of it. I have pictures of what it looks like inside. All of it. Yeah, I have it somewhere. It's probably with my Hanson.
I love
Day
that.
Stuff. Yeah, Hanson dirt.
Wonderful.
It's a real. It's
No,
like. It's a real.
I don't think I have any Hanson dirt.
Oh, and you've been to Tulsa so many times.
I know I have.
I've got Hanson. I got Hanson grass. I didn't get the dirt.
Hanson grass.
I got 3CG special grass. Now
that's crazy.
I could put that
that's
on
so
eBay.
Wild.
It's
I can't
rare.
believe I can't believe she like got. I mean, her 12-year-old self probably was a little wise. Like, Mom, no, I'm not.
Yeah, she was. I wouldn't have done it either. Like, oh my gosh, that'd be my dream come true and my worst nightmare, all in the same knock. What do you do if they answer? It freeze. So sorry, wrong house.
Sorry.
Start
As you're
crying because you're not going to speak.
Shrubbery in your hand. I can't believe like that sounds like something. Oh, if you're good, I'll take you to the Hanson's house. Like,
yeah,
I'm not actually gonna do that, kid. Do you think I'm sorry? It's the other way.
Yeah,
Pennsylvania
I'm kind of
is
impressed.
like up there.
Yeah,
Pennsylvania
it's
is like in California. She said, right? I mean, did they go this way?
I'm like actually really impressed that she did that drive and like stopped in Oklahoma. Like that is insane.
That's so random.
I want to know where Mom got the address.
Mom was a sleuth. Mom was super sleuthy
before the internet. Like,
I wonder if it was just like some random address, like, and she just told her that it was the. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, we have it
if you
now.
know property appraiser, like if you know anything about looking up deeds and property stuff, I think it's probably easy to find. I'm sure Mom, you could look that up. I don't know if it was available on the internet back then.
I think so. Way back then? I don't think so.
That's impressive. Maybe she just knew somebody. Can you please let us know how your mom found out where Hanson lived in the 90s? Like, that's pretty wild. That's really impressive. Like,
she said she didn't know. She said she didn't know how.
I would have asked. I'm like, Mom, tell me about the time.
Yeah. Please tell me how you did this.
Do you remember the time? That was awesome. Love that.
That was all of them.
That story. Link's story. Thanks, man. Well, thank you so much for everybody for calling in to the Hanson Hotline. And I hope you guys liked the little jingle that Aline played beforehand. It's a very special guest debuted on the jingle.
It's my
Aline's
babies.
Sweet little baby girls part of the show now. And it's so awesome to have them be a part of it. I love it. It's super cute. Very, very fun. Well, now is the moment of the show. And you're going to draw it, Ashley, but Aline's going to draw. You're going to have to tell her when to stop.
Okay.
When to,
I'm going to shuffle.
Make the move. And she's going to shuffle it up.
You're a real shuffler.
Well, one just popped out, and it's up to you if you want me to take that.
Take it.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
All
yes,
right.
I'm sure.
All right, because I put it on the bottom just in case. This.
Is it MMMBop?
Yes, it's MMMBop.
Hey, what a good one.
There's a lot to talk about there.
Yeah.
There is a lot to talk about there. There's a lot to unpack. We kind of did it a little bit, but how cool.
All right.
It's such a good one.
You want to read the book this week?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Read the book.
Sorry, my cat moved things since I set up for the episode. That's why I was rummaging earlier. My cat was being a cat.
A reading from the Book of Hanson.
We are reading from this wonderful booklet that Aline created alongside the deck. It's a reference booklet. So each card, of course, for the personal meaning you have for it for yourself, she wrote down the meaning, and each card has a portion. So for MMMBop, the quotes are, hold on to the ones who really care. In the end, they'll be the only ones there. Flowers need water to grow. Remember that on your bad days, love is like wildflowers. It is often found in the most unlikely places. Where flowers bloom, so does hope. Key words: growth, planting new seeds, love, growing older, time passing fast, making a choice, letting go, new seasons, do it now, secrets, flowers, and embracing the moment. If this is a yes or no question, the answer is yes. Live in the moment with no regrets. Very cool.
Aww.
I love it. I love that so much. My gosh, I think this is probably. I mean, it's the song. It is the song that started it all and started our connection and our relationship with them. And I guess since this is this, I told you I was saving my story for when we drew MMMBop. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys and share with the podcast the first time I saw Hanson. I was very sheltered. I was not allowed to listen to anything. I went to a very heavy private Christian school for the years prior to discovering Hanson and MMMBop. And a couple months before I heard Hanson, I got out of that school and I was finally allowed to listen to the radio and what have you. But I didn't have an identity. I didn't have my own self because in that type of school, you weren't even allowed to have a fashionable haircut. You couldn't even have anything that would define you different than another person. So we were living with my cousins, and they watched MTV all the time. They were into the MTV. They would, moment we got home from school, it was on TV all the time. And I remember sitting down with my cousins, and they put on MTV. And that particular day, I thought, I'm going to fall in love with a band. I was determined to fall in love with something that day. And I didn't know what, but I remember the order in which everything came out. The first one was The Wrong Way by Sublime. And I was like, well, he's kind of cute, but the dude wasn't even in the band. He was just the guy from the music video, and I thought he was hot. Unfortunately, he was not in the band Sublime, so that wasn't it. And then the next one was Marilyn Manson, Beautiful People. And I was like, maybe I'm not so bad at God right now. I might be a little too much for this private Christian schoolgirl. And then Hanson came. And it wasn't instant love. It was curiosity. It was, well, she's cute. But I like that question and that seeking stopped. But it wasn't that I was like, oh, I found it. It was just like, I didn't know in that moment that I had found it. And it's one of the most serendipitous moments where I can look back and go, I was purposely looking for something before I sat down that day. Like I knew I was going to be introduced to something so profound. It was going to change my life. And change my life did it. But I remember sitting there, looking there, thinking Taylor was cute, and I just wanted to get on rollerblades and rollerblade with them. Terribly bad. And then the next day, Channel 1 News was playing at school, and they said, the brothers Hanson. I was like, oh, Hanson. And I remember it kind of like wavering for me. Never like, I was like not full into it. Like I wasn't full obsessed. JTT had a big part of my heart still.
Yeah.
And then the Thanksgiving and Christmas episode special on ABC came out. And that was when I was full locked in. I was like, I need all the things. I need Tulsa, Tokyo. I need the calendar. I need the middle of nowhere. I come from a family of enthusiasts, a fandom enthusiast. And so I guess a way they could reciprocate that love for me was to buy me a shit ton of Hanson stuff. And here we are today. But I remember just hearing MMMBop, and that was, the rest was history. And there's so many stories and connections that I think to that song. And it's one of my favorite songs to still hear live. People still give it shit. But it's the one song that I know everybody at that show is going to know. And everybody's engaged and everybody's in that high energy, the energy that I'm in for the whole show. Everybody in attendance in that moment is there and present for the band. So I can't hate on it too much. It's a good song.
It's definitely a love-hate for me. It's like I could go the rest of my life with never hearing it again, even though it would definitely be in my head all the time. But I would be okay if I never heard it again. But on the same note, I'm so grateful to it for everything that it has given me in my life to this point.
Yeah.
It's like we were talking about Weird earlier, and I was thinking about this before we started recording tonight. I was like, man, MMMBop really like pulled us all in, and then Weird kept us all here. Yep. I feel like everyone got pulled in with MMMBop, and then they heard Weird, like, of the fandom. Like, the fandom, that seems to be our, like, anthem. Weird is our anthem. So, like, MMMBop really was, like, the key point that was, like, everybody came in for that. And then we stayed for the rest.
Yeah. I know when if I mention Hanson, they're always like, MMMBop.
Yeah.
MMMBop. Like, there's more than that. But at the same time, it's, like, the best campfire song. And my favorite thing to do now, when people like with clients or whomever, they're talking about relationships or leaving relationships. Sometimes I just quote Hanson. I don't tell them that I'm quoting Hanson. I'd be like, well, you have so many relationships in this life and only one or two will last. So you just hold on to the ones who really care. In the end, they'll be the only ones there. And they're like, yeah.
You just made me think of something. And usually we would have just you do the dramatic reading, but I think the three of us should like round robin it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should pull up the lyrics to MMMBop and each read a part. Like read a paragraph.
I like that.
Dramatically.
Dramatically.
Okay.
So
I'm down.
are we gonna do, let's see.
I love how we're all looking like we need the lyrics. Like,
well, I think it's like, where do we want to start off? No, I have a moment that if there's ever an open mic night and I have the cojones, that my plan is to dramatically say MMMBop to the people. Like it is a moment that I know will happen at some point in my life.
Like a poetry night?
Have it. Yeah, like a pop-up, like open mic night somewhere, like at a bar. Like, you have so many relationships in this life. I guess I'll start it. Might as well. I'm in it.
Get some practice in.
All right, you ready, guys? You have so many relationships in this life, and only one or two will last. You're going through all this pain and strife, and you turn your back, and they're gone so fast. And they're gone so fast. So hold on to the ones who really care, because in the end, they'll be the only ones there. When you get old and you start losing your hair, can you tell me who will still care? Can you tell me who will still care? MMMBop, ba-doo-ba-doo-bop. 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 Ba-doo.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Next.
You want to take it up?
Yeah.
Ashley,
take
you
the
want to take it?
next
All
part,
right.
Ashley. Yeah.
Plant a seed, plant a flower, plant a rose. You can plant any one of those. Keep planting to find out which one grows. It's a secret no one knows. It's a secret no one knows. No one knows. Bop, ba-doo-ba-dop, ba-doo-bop, ba-doo-ba-dop, ba-doo-bop, ba-doo-bop, ba-doo. Yeah. Bop, ba-doo-ba-dop, ba-doo-bop, ba-doo-ba-dop, ba-doo-bop, ba-doo-ba-dop, ba-doo.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
All right, I'll take up the last chunk. Can you tell me? You say you can, but you don't know. Can you tell me which flower's going to grow? Can you tell me if it's going to be a daisy or a rose? Can you tell me which flower's going to grow? Can you tell me? You say you can, but you don't know. And with that, this song has been performed 1,200 times.
That's it?
I mean,
how many Hanson's performances have there been total?
More than that,
is
but
that,
not by much.
Is that
That's
just
like?
Is that just concerts, or is that counting like talk show appearances and things?
I think that's just concerts.
Okay, I was gonna say that seems really low, like for like lifetime performances.
Okay, so they're doing like performances, not talk show. Like the very first time it was performed and that they are counting is on May 7th, 1997, and that was Paramus Park in New Jersey, the part in Tulsa, Tokyo, middle of nowhere, where they're like, Sears is having a sale. That part.
I have a sticker of that.
Well, we know there were times before that.
Yeah, I'm sure, but this is where I think their professional career took off after the release of MMMBop, because I think it was just played on the radio and they came out. I'm looking and I'm like, wow, in 97 you would think they played a lot. They're definitely not counting TV shows.
Yeah.
Because I'm counting
like the Grammys,
maybe 20 times in 1997. That they are counting it. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So,
but I think we looked a couple weeks ago and it was less. So they've played it since we looked, because now it's like an even number. 1,200
Yeah, they
times
think they
on
just
the
had a
dot,
show.
which is
They
crazy. Like
just did a
1,200
show.
on the dot.
Really. I have heard MMMBop 84 times, and I've been to
Pulling up.
140, I think, shows. So out of 140 shows, I've heard it 84 times, which is kind of interesting. So you're thinking there's shows I've been to that they just haven't performed it. They just
Probably like the member shows, because they know we want to hear the deep cuts.
a lot of Back to the Island and Hanson Day events. And I told this story before. I think it's my favorite. One of my favorite MMMBop stories is I saw them at Epcot, and they didn't play it at one of the Epcot shows. Like, they do 3 in one day, so they did end up playing it at the next show. I've been to 144 shows, and 84 of those were MMMBop shows.
Wow.
They just
numbers are very different.
Right. But this guy in line, they had just, like, at Epcot, I don't know if you had a chance to go, but you go see him, and then the moment that show's over, you have to leave and then re-get in line for all 3 shows, because they're back to back, but you have to leave the venue and get back in. And this guy in line in front of me, he goes, "Are you telling me I have to go watch them again because they didn't play it?" He was so upset that it wasn't played. He's like, "I came for this song. Why are they not playing like that? What else do they have to do?" Like, he was genuinely pissed and baffled that they didn't play it. And I was amused by that. I was like, look at this. And I think that's why it's special, and why I won't give it the hate or anything like that, because there's people passionate about it, And but I do agree with Zach. I think they did like a People magazine interview, and it's like it's recent-ish, and they talk about MMMBop, and Zach's like, "I hate it when people like skidoo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-bop."
Yes.
And he just doesn't gets him. I'm like, I feel you, man. The first time I heard it was my first concert, September 21st, 1998. And our last
not
one
too long
was
after mine.
that was in Orlando. And then the last one was April 25th, 2026. The last show Aline and I went to. Well, it was the last show we both went to.
Yep.
In April this year. And that was fun. They waited almost towards the end. They extended it out extra, because when you have those festival shows, it was at Busch Gardens, people are there to hear it. So they're going to try and keep people there as long as possible.
Yeah.
They did not close with it, but they definitely kept it to the end.
Heard it 13
Held it
times
close.
out of 17 shows. Was it 17?
13 out of
I
17.
think it's 17. Yeah, 17 shows. And my first
Heard
time
it
was my
3 out
first
of
show.
3.
3 out of 3.
3 of 3.
Yep.
What were your 3 shows?
So, August 30th, 98, that was at the Hartford Civic Center, which it's not called that anymore. It's called something else now, or maybe it's not there anymore. That was Hartford, Connecticut. It was a wonderful, wonderful day. That was my first concert ever in my life. I was 11 years old, and my sister was 7, and we were tiny, and so my parents came with us, and it was a very, an unpleasant sensory experience, but a little bit. It was very overwhelming, but it was very, very worth it. I had a wonderful time. And then I had like a deep post-concert depression for like a couple days afterwards.
Hanson Sads are the worst.
And then I didn't see them again until String Theory. So it was 21 years in between shows. And then the last time was the Wintry Mix Tour right before the pandemic hit. That was December 23rd, 2019. I drove out to Boston by myself to see them. And oh, it was so good. It was so much fun.
They played MMMBop
and
at that one too.
Yep. I was gonna go to a Red, Green, Blue show, but I ended up I ended up not going because that was right before we were going to Syracuse with How to Dance in Ohio, and the venue had just lifted a couple of COVID restrictions, and I was just like, you know what? I don't really feel great about this yet. So I was just, luckily they refunded me, even though it was past the refund deadline. So I had to crap out on that one. And then I was gonna go to Underneath Experience, but then I moved out of the city. And that one I'm sad I missed because it was at the same venue where we had done a How to Dance in Ohio little reunion concert in New York City. So I was like, oh, I get to go back and see them there, but I didn't unfortunately get to do that. So I had to crap out on 2 other shows. So maybe I'll get another one in at some point if they're.
Bet you will. They're doing some stuff up there, right? They're aren't they have a show coming up?
I thought I saw something at I don't know. I'll look. I don't remember off the top of my head. We're here to talk about MMMBop though. So
no, but this is actually this is part of the show. We like to look these random things up.
We actually have a bunch coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on break. And they just keep popping out shows.
They actually have a lot of shows coming up, a lot of special shows. None of them are official tour shows, but they have a bunch. They have a stacked summer.
They do have a very stacked summer.
For a band that's not on tour,
Right, or not, that's on break. Well, you're the Virginia, I don't know, you're a little bit more northern area. Massachusetts, July 19th. Get it, girl. That's not too far.
Yeah, except I am going to be in a cabaret that very day, so I'm not going to be able to make that one.
That is
maybe
conflicting
maybe you
shows.
should fly down here to Disney at the end of August. Come see them at Disney.
That would be fun.
We will be making our way there 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st.
The 30th, that would be the anniversary of my first concert.
That's it. That's what you should do.
That would be the 20. Oh my God, I think the 28th anniversary of that concert.
Wow.
Was your show in 98?
98, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's your sign. Come to the happiest place on earth. And then go on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride with us. Aline's not been to the Epcot shows. Last year I went on a date and I was like, and I was like, I'm going to bring my kid to the next one tomorrow because I had way more fun with my son than that date. But the Guardians of the Galaxy ride is so fun. If you like music and you like a little woo woo, and then go see Hanson afterwards, woo woo,
a little woo
the ride. Yeah. It's a fun ride. And then follow up with Hanson. It's a good time. It's a really good time. And it's more fun to go with people who will enjoy themselves and have a good time.
Absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yes. 100%. But yeah, they're not really on break. They're doing, I've said a couple of times, they're on a lyrical creation. Hanson making break. I think they're making lyrics, but on their own time in their own space with themselves. I think they're just taking a break from creating. Sorry, my cat is just rude.
Why would you apologize for that? Look at this baby.
We're all having little, what would it be called? Technical difficulty, cat difficulties.
The episode of the cat.
Ashley had to walk and feed her cat. Meatball keeps climbing up on me, and I keep having to put her down.
And this child, this girl cat is.
Meatball, she's hiding under my chair now because I shunned her. She's sad. She got sad. She claws me.
She's melting.
She claws me so bad. She can't just sit on me. She has to be on my shoulder like a little bird. And then she digs into me.
Silly girl, silly cat.
And then I'm sitting here doing this because cat hair's everywhere.
I think MMMBop is just one of those very special songs, the songs that started it all. And I think as an adult, I think, we're all adults, but there's a lot of relationships that have come and gone out of my life. And some friendships, some Hanson friendships that come and go. And I remember after a loss of one of those friendships, another Hanson fan was sitting next to me and she said, "MMMBop." And I was like, and she goes, "You just plant seeds and you don't know which ones will end up being weeds or flowers or will even grow, but you put the same energy and effort into those relationships. And, sometimes it yields growth and beauty. And sometimes it just doesn't, no matter how hard you try." I know I've overwatered a plant sometimes and killed it. So I think that it's a beautiful metaphor for relationships, and it's an actual very beautiful song that
I think it's the older I get, the more amazing it is to me that that's the theme they found as kids, like literal children, and put that and decided to put that into a song that had these really melancholy lyrics, but they're also just kind of like, you know what, that's life, so we're going to sing about it all together, and this is something we experience together. And it's like they just there's something so unique about young children having that kind of emotional songwriting instinct that I think is just really, really remarkable even to this day. And I think that's why the song has held up. It's not like, they never outgrew it, because you don't outgrow a message like that.
Yeah. No.
Especially when it's so catchy. Like,
right.
You're only going to grow more into it.
It's like the concept that the tune doesn't match the lyrics, because everyone's like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, it's actually kind of a depressing song.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's actually not as peppy in your step as you think it is. It can be on how you look at it, but it really is one of those that it's kind of sad, like when you go through your hardships, when you get old, you start losing your hair, when, you turn your back around, they're gone so freaking fast, so the ones who really care will stick through all that stuff.
What else is interesting to me, like from a musician point of view, is the way that they've changed the key as they got older, because, they recorded it, in A, and that is such a sparkly, jangly Jackson 5 flavor that it has. I think I remember reading somewhere, like, Taylor's voice was already changing when they were recording it, and he was, like, barely even squeaking out those notes, and the Dust Brothers were like, no, you have to do it in this key, trust us, this is the key that's going to make it a hit, and they were not wrong. But, even on that first tour, even at the Grammys, they were already playing it a little bit lower, and it doesn't quite hit the same. More recently, I think when I saw it, because I picked up a set list when I was at the Boston show, and I think they were playing it all the way down in F. So it was down, like, I think in string theory, I want to say, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think string theory, it's an E. And at the Boston show, it was F, or maybe it's the other way around or something like that. But it's like, it does take on different emotional flavors when it's played in different keys. And my favorite, this is like really nerdy of me, but my favorite MMMBop key,
give it to us.
My favorite MMMBop key is the one from Live and Electric. And I'm pretty sure it's A flat. So it's just like a half step down from the original recording. I might be wrong about that, but that's what I'm pretty sure it is, if I'm remembering correctly. It's just, it has the flavor of the original, but it just feels a tiny bit more. There's just a little bit more bittersweetness in it. And I just think that's interesting how the key changes the tone of the entire piece. It changes the emotional flavor of the entire piece. And, you know, of course, for practical reasons, and, you know, being a singer myself, I know it's like, you know, you're going to have to change the key because your voice changes as you get older. And it could even change, you know, day to day. There are some days you can't hit the higher notes as well. And you just like, you know, just adjust the key. You know, the song is the song. It's going to resonate no matter what. But it does make a difference in how it comes across and how it emotionally resonates. And I think that's interesting.
I think that is super, super interesting. And that's something I've not really like thought of or like paid too much attention to. Probably the most tone wise I've paid attention to it. One is string theory because it's so good. The freaking violins in it during MMMBop are so good. Like that was my favorite part watching that show. I saw that tour a bit, and it just was so fun to watch the strings doing their thing. But I can say that, and then during a Back to the Island, they played it, and people were like, "What? We're here for the deep cuts." But it was a perfect campfire vibe. You know, like you're standing there and you're in the ocean, and the ocean's right there, and it's like a thing. And we're all like, you know, when you're there, you're in your swimsuit half the time or something like that. So it was a vibe of togetherness, like a little stripped and raw, like we were just hanging out together. So
I think probably when it's I imagine at least when it's a show like Back to the Island, or it's something where, you know, they know it's the hardcore fans, I think it's almost kind of adorable when they choose to play it anyway, because it's like, you know, they're just doing it because they want to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they still want to do it. Like,
it gave me chills. Like they still want to, and they still want to perform that, you know, and they haven't grown sick of it. I don't think they have.
I think they're very grateful to that song for everything it's given them. Like we are,
a lot of money.
We are so grateful for the community that it's given us, but I think they're grateful for the life and the career that it has given them. So like as much as we are always like, oh my gosh, I've heard it so many times, it's like, oh, man, okay. But
you're not gonna be mad about it. Like you're not gonna be mad about hearing it. Like it feels like coming home a little bit.
Yes. It feels like you're complete. Once you've heard it, you're like, oh, there it went. It's like
there it is.
What you're waiting for, because you know it's coming.
Yeah.
When I saw them on the Wintry Mix tour, and I was honestly, my favorite part of that show was hearing the Christmas songs live, because the Christmas album was always big it's still to this day is big in my home. But that was so much fun. That was so happy for my soul. But I remember when they were going into it and Taylor was announcing it, and there was something about like the way his eyes just lit up when he was talking about it. And it was just magical to watch. And it was like, oh, they've played this song hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, and there's still like that like spark of joy behind it. Like it's just wholesome to watch.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, I think that there is something special and resonating with it. I mean, I know I do, and it's a conversation sparker. And you know, when people find out that, you know, you're a fan of Hanson, or they see my MMMBop tattoo, with that the pansy has become
this
like
icon,
an icon. A moment for Hanson, for a lot of fans, like it connects together. When I'm asked when I'm asked sometimes by men, what's your favorite flower? I go pansy. They go, I can't get that in a bouquet of flowers for you. And I'm like, I know, it has to be rooted. You can't cut it. It has to have roots and to be planted and to be tended to, because the moment you cut it, it's going to wilt. And there's something super special about that. And I love requesting that.
You know, I've actually...
Because it's more than something you can give. You have to plant.
You have to nurture it.
Tend to. Nurture.
Laura, have you ever eaten them?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I went to, one year they did at Hanson Day, they did something called Firkin Feast. And Taylor put together this curated menu for food on the move. And it was like a dinner you could buy into, and the proceeds went to food on the move. And one of the dishes had culinary pansies on it.
I love that.
It was very creative on Taylor's part.
I baked some cookies once. This was some recipe I found on Pinterest where I went to a nursery and I got some pansies, and then I planted them in our garden, and now they're like still popping up everywhere because that's what they do. But I made cookies with them, and I just put the pansies right on top, and it's like they look like little picture perfect little cookies that you can little Hanson cookies.
It will always be Hanson flour.
Yeah.
It will always be that,
I do a Mother's Day tea party every year, and this year, like, I always do like a little woodland theme, kind of like dark.
I love that.
Dark nature kind of thing with like these crazy mushrooms and like all this stuff. And this year Laura came, and I was like, she came in the last minute, and I was like, I wish you knew you were coming, because I want to like plan a pansy themed tea party just for like me and her, just to have like a whole pansy everything.
Still do that.
I found a
That'll
whole
still be fun.
bunch of recipes of pansy stuff. I want to do it. So
we'll do an episode, and we'll film together, and we'll do a tea party.
Yes.
And that's what we should do. We're planning it right now, like right here on the air. We're gonna have an episode film together.
I'm gonna see if I can find that recipe, that cookie recipe.
That's awesome. And we'll have the scones and pansy scones and pansy cookies, and
I'll have to
pansy
actually. I'll send you the video that I have all these like just all these pansy recipes. I want every single thing. There was like pansy lemonade, pansy everything.
Pansy
it was
lemonade.
Just like, oh, I want it. I want all of it.
I want it.
Can y'all hear the thunder? No, it's not picking up. It is so scary loud right now. Like it's just booming out of nowhere.
No. But my nails are very suffice for pansying.
I love it.
They're very MMMBop.
I've got the orange eyeshadow. You've got the yellow nails.
Mm-hmm.
I have no makeup at all. Sorry.
We got salon leftover makeup. We did our best. So
I love how your little kitty's just chilling, nose into the frame. He's so cute.
This is her thing, is just like hanging out with me when I'm on calls, or on whether it's work calls or what.
All right, Laura, you ready to do your tarot card reading?
I sure am.
Well, I'm ready for this.
Yes. Everyone, please hold briefly while we step on over to our Patreon and do our tarot reading with our oracle cards. Welcome back, everybody. If you were listening over at the Patreon, we find out that it is very, very wise to create stability and foundation when creating and forming new relationships, and reflecting on what Ashley said earlier, finding a mentor and someone to help you bud and create all the new things to come. So, love how that works out.
Beautiful.
Aline, do you have anything else to give and say about MMMBop?
I was just thinking, like, it really is like the foundation of the fandom.
Mm-hmm.
It really, like, this song represents, if you went in a room of hundreds of people and you just said MMMBop, somebody in that room is either going to shout it back at you or go, oh my gosh, there's my people, and try to find you.
Right.
Everybody knows the song. And I think my favorite part of being in my 40s and having so much of this song in my past, the people that picked on us relentlessly, that gave us so much crap growing up, that, you know, especially the guys, like going back to the Hanson Hotline, the brother that called earlier. So much of that was our childhood, picking at us relentlessly just because it was easy to be picked at. But those are the people now coming forward like, man, MMMBop was deep and I respect them so much. And I had no idea. And it's just so, I don't know, it's better now than when we were teens. Because, boy, I spent all of my teens fighting boys that called me all the names they could think of about Hanson, and it was just a lot. So like now it's like, oh, welcome to where we've been the whole time.
Yeah. In my yearbooks, I saved them all. And I've had people address me as MMMBop in the yearbooks. Hey, MMMBop. Hey, MMMBop.
They used to call me MMMBop in school.
I think it's got dubbed that. So it's special. It's really special. Can be a kind of when someone's like, MMMBop.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, it's like, well, at least you know. They're like, what else? When people, my favorites, what else is there except MMMBop? I'm like, yes, I've seen them 40-ish times just for MMMBop.
I love that question. What else is there besides MMMBop? Let me tell you everything else there is.
Tell you.
Like, what else is there? What else is there? But also, like, what else is there genuinely to life beyond the message of that song and the relationships that you cultivate and the seeds that you plant? Like, actually, though, what else is there?
That's a very freaking good point, Ashley. I agree.
And that's why it still resonates. You know, they figured that out as kids, and it's the song that continues to grow with all of us.
And touches people in a way. And I do hope one day Hanson will receive their allocates for that song from the music community in a proper way. Being like, oh shit, that song stuck.
Yeah.
You know, and that has meaning. And I hope not just for that song, but for their career. Because I think they kind of got shunned. Their career got shunned because of that song as well.
Yeah, because a lot of people
they kind of put themselves in a
seriously.
box. You know, they put themselves in such a grand box because it was such a hit. It was such a song.
It's like being a Disney Channel actor.
It existed on different levels. Like, it existed on the level of the song on its own merit, but then it also became its own pop culture thing.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's a pop culture thing.
And it's sometimes people can't, they only see one, but not the other. But, you know, it can be both. Like, I think it's, you know, I mean, you know, even within the fandom, like, we're like, oh yeah, MMMBop, whatever. But at the same time, we still love the song for what it is. Like, I don't think there's anybody in the fandom that, like, hates MMMBop. Like,
yeah.
No, I don't think I've run across anybody like that.
No, that's like,
or like resents it.
I don't know.
Like,
is there any MMMBop haters out there? Feel free to come forward. We're not going to judge you too much.
I
I'm
will.
kind of curious. Yeah.
Call the Hanson Hotline and let us know.
I did say too much. Please call the Hanson Hotline and let us know. Do you hate MMMBop? Like, super, not just like, but like, no. But I would love to hear people's first memories and moments hearing MMMBop. That would be something really special.
Yeah.
To hear from other fans, because I think it's really cool. Like, tell me about the first time you saw me, says Taylor Swift. That's a Taylor Swift.
Wrong Taylor.
Still high school.
Wrong
Taylor. Yeah. But, you know, even Taylor Swift, she's a Hanson fan.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I remember when she tweeted about their cover of We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together.
Oh, she had a reply to that?
Yeah.
I never knew she had a reply to that, but I do enjoy their version of that song. So, yeah. And when she said that she thought she was going to marry Taylor because they're both named Taylor. Nope. Wrong tea.
I don't think Taylor Hanson would have been so super into the wedding that she had last weekend.
No,
I don't really feel like that's his scene.
No, he's so much more low key.
Yeah. Though I think that they're both not too much of stars, but I think unfortunately he probably would have fallen into the Matty Healy. Not that he's not British, but I mean, I think if it would have been a romantic relationship, if that aligned in the stars, unfortunately, I think he would have gone into the tortured poet department.
Oh, he's already there. We have
he's already there. We have
paper.
with Michelle. Exactly.
Yeah.
She was the original tortured poet.
She is. Yes, she is. And I was trying to delicately say that, but there it is.
We're gonna say the quiet part out loud here. This is the uncensored.
Right. Oh, we're not on the After Dark.
No, not yet. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet? Okay. Sorry.
It's all right. No, it's good. Just save the tea for tea time.
For titty time? What?
For tea time. Just
she's getting loopy because we've been on here almost 2 hours.
That's amazing. Good for us. So much my watch is dead. I love that for us. Well, everybody, thank you so much. On that note, thank you so much for tuning in this week and listening to us hang out with Ashley Wool. And thank you so much for gracing us with your very talented presence tonight. It was really insightful and a fun experience for me.
This was so much fun. I've been looking forward to this. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, thank you. Well, everyone, stay weird.
Stay wild.
I will.
That's the goal.
I promise.
Life goal.
Yay! Bye.
Isn't it weird? Isn't